Everyone, that's some important news. Um, the Cthulhu's, they um, they sold out. They sold out because they were surprised and shocked at the same time. They were surprised and shocked at the same time is why they sold out. That's why octopus give up on their family or give up on something else. That's why the Cthulhu's left because they're impulsive by nature. They're impulsive, but they know how to wait. They know how to survive by waiting. Uh, and the Cthulhu's were surprised that the the fecal matter of the biggest things they've ever seen, because they were used to being the biggest freaking things all around. They were used to being big and big and big, and then when they spotted them, they spotted each other. I think they said they spotted each other at the same time, trying to make it feel like it was something miraculous, but really it was something that was in a clock cycle. Because the Cthulhu's always yearn to do more things because they have more tentacle, more limbs. Um, when the Cthulhu's need to do at least bare minimum 2 to 3 things depending on their archetype. So if you have the Cthulhu's focusing on just one thing, they will literally die of asphyxiation for how many goddamn energies are connected to their body. So play a game with the Cthulhu's. See what happens when they do just one mother freaking thing. One mother freaking thing. They literally start huffing because there's so many freaking brains in their body that they need a constant flow of blood flow in their body. And if they're only doing just one thing, they die. They die. The Cthulhu's gave up on us because they saw how much they were doing and how much others were doing because they didn't have as many limbs. They didn't have as many limbs. So they felt like they were wasting their time because of what they were being told by what they consider as the freaking giants. What they consider as the giants. So these were doing multiple things. These creatures were doing multiple things. Okay? So um apparently apparently they were controlled by their nose. Their noses. They were controlled by their noses. All of them because they smell. They smell molecules in the air. They smell molecules in the air. Just no different. No different than in the sea. They smell. They can smell there. They smell there. Both sides. No difference. It's sea. So the Cthulhu sold out because from the outside advice, they became self-insured. The Cthulhu's did that we were lazy and ungrateful for not getting upgrades to have more limbs to do and achieve more things throughout the day. And they didn't realize that we're in flourishing. And if you get upgrades to have more freaking limbs, you're gonna potentially be killed someday. Because if you get upgrades in your body, you're going to absolutely freaking need to do more things. And if you get locked up, you're gonna die of asphyxiation because you didn't you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. So the more limbs they have, that's the reason why a lot of things are so freaking sporadic. They have extra limbs because their heads are moving more. And some are able to control it and handle it, and some aren't. They're just saying, no, I need to take these off because there's too many. There's too many limbs and there's too many things talking in my head, and I can't deal with this. I cannot deal with this. My body is not meant to deal with this. So, out of the ignorance of the Cthulhu's, they put themselves in a bind taking outside advice. Because I think they had, I don't think they had extra limbs. I think they had just an extra two. I think they had like 6 limbs. But they told them if you get 2 more, you're going to be able to do more and learn more with the extra brains in your limbs. Because I don't think the Cthulhu's knew that they were brains in their limbs. They didn't know much about their bodies. So this fucking big tentacle thing, it's turning the galaxy, turning these into eggs, being stationary, getting ready to kill everybody, was plotting this the whole time. It's got multi mother freaking limbs. If this thing was to do just one thing, it would be no different. It would be no different than a freaking vein connected to the toe, needing to keep the entire body going. Okay, it'd be no freaking different. So if you had the body doing one thing with this big old thing, it'd be no different than just having veins or just one vein on a toe. And it would die immediately. It died like quickly. Okay? So the Cthulhu's damned themselves when they took the outside advice. I think it's the Alden Orc Lords something's advice. They took their advice to add an additional double limbs with the program. But with the program, it always doubles. So the Cthulhu's are fucked in a double life with 6 limbs and 8 limbs. And they have them doubling in the 8 limbs to make it 16 limbs fighting the fucking the 6 limb version of them. The 6 limb, the Slim Jim version of them. So the Cthulhu sold us out because they just simply think more is better, but more is not better if you don't know your own fucking archetype. Sacred geometry, numerology. I don't know. Maybe Cthulhu's have something that is considered a freaking palm for palm reading. Okay, so I think with mine, I have an X somewhere on it. I think I remember seeing X's on both palms. I'll check that out later. But the Cthulhu's have damned themselves, and there's an old program. And these motherfucking things have so many freaking tentacles connected to their bodies because they were really surprised how many tentacles were growing on some of those who were having children with the humans. They're like, my God, they have more tentacles than us. Why? Because it was doubled. It's two different species. That's why they have so many tentacles. They needed 2 to defeat their asses someday, to let them know you're the old news, I'm the new news. Okay, it's just natural that I can defeat you, and you should just submit because of that fact. You should just submit because I can defeat you. It's simple mathematics. More equals harder to defeat. Just more equals easy to defeat. Just stupid shit. So the Cthulhu's family is a computer program fixed on doing things constantly, because if they don't do something, if they don't even move around their tentacles, they start to die by asphyxiation. Okay, so what's going on right now is so many freaking things have fused, and they've had kids, and those kids that they have so many freaking limbs, and some of them are starting to come out retarded with crooked limbs, and they're just worried that their generation is going to be so freaking mad that they were just being used as a decoy to go into another room to let them get all eradicated permanently. to help make one side of a fucking eggshell. And they're saying, you don't get it. The eggshell is very special because there's fucking layers in it. Okay, so in these eggshells, there's many layers of their future kids that they've had from even their own future kids. And they got all the nasty shit, and it's coming around the Cthulhu's and everyone else saying, we're not taking this fucking shit if it's not going to the planet Earth for the new image that we have in store for them. You're gonna take Cthulhu. And Cthulhu's are protesting right now, saying you're the one who submitted us by saying if you do anything to us, we'll kill you. So they said us. So chances are those fuckers were brought by that fucking tentacle fucking bastard. And you know what? A fucking agent of it. An agent of it came to set up the Cthulhu's to see if they're cool to be part of an eggshell. Now, knowing that they've seen multi-layers and things, are you cool with that? Cool being part of the eggshell? Like, so they're like, oh no, eggshell, egg, why the egg? You're like, oh, you ungrateful fucking pricks. You have no idea how safe you are other than being in the fucking yolk. Turning into something else, you fucking stupid fucking hillbilly pieces of fucking shit. So, it set them up to take all the fucking, to take all the damage from the retard fucking shit that's left over because they didn't appreciate that there's layers and eggs. They didn't even comprehend that because there's like this, they don't think because they really don't think to the point where they have too many tentacles where they just do. They're just doing someone else's bidding. That's why they freaking have wide eyes. Because they've been dulled down, humanified. Because Cthulhu used to look like an absolute fucking tentacle. Fucking squid. Like exact what one should look like. And now he looks human. From what? From fucking having DNA exchanges, eating human. And now he knows that he was considered special, but when he got an attitude, they're like, oh, he's just another fucking hillbilly fool. He's just another hillbilly fool. So, the Cthulhu sold out because they sent some motherfucker to come by that probably knew already what the fuck was gonna happen. But they don't disrespect them by bringing them in, because if they do, so many assholes are in the place already. So many assholes are already in the place. And I smoked too much cannabis. So, pretty much, the Cthulhu's have the connection to the biggest fucking thing that turns things into eggs. Turns galaxies into eggs. We're all slowly going into the middle of this fucking thing. They're like, dude, look at the fucking news. Look at the news. They said the only way this galaxy would be going inwards is if the news was going on the other side around. So the news from the TV is starting to go from the other side around from the videos that they're seeing. So this galaxy is not expanding, it's not growing, it's the opposite. It's shrinking into that fucking egg. That thing that turns them into eggs. And the Cthulhu sold us out to them. Fuck you, Cthulhu's. Fuck you very much.